Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron. Today I'm sharing a match that two other players played at Woodburn Games in Cincinnati, Ohio on July 20th. This will probably be the last store event I share before Gen Con. The player on the left has Metroplex, and the player on the right is running a Double Megatron deck. So both of these I haven't really seen in Wave 3, so I was a little curious to see how they'd be playing. General Megatron get to go first, and I'm wondering what their strategy is going to be. They're playing Megatron Arrogant Ruler from Wave 2, who I know when he attacks in bot mode, they can scrap an upgrade to draw 2 cards, which is nice, and then when they flip back into alt mode, they can play an upgrade, which has some synergy with Wave 3 General Megatron, as the extra upgrade play will let them put upgrades on General Megatron, and if he starts in bot mode on a turn where he has 3 or more upgrades on him, he gets to do 1 damage to each enemy, which isn't as valuable in this because obviously they're playing against Metroplex, who's 1 wide. But if they flip back into alt mode with upgrades on him, they get to ping an enemy for each weapon on the battlefield. So there, if they're running like the attack drones and they've got a weapon on Arrogant Ruler, that could be pinging Metroplex for 4 on every couple turns, maybe every turn if they have extra escape routes or something. So far we haven't seen much. Metroplex did get the proc, so he tapped down Arrogant Ruler, dealt a damage each to both Megatrons along with his actual attack. So not a bad turn. On 2 wides, it's less important. I think the Megatron player can recover here. He plays an armor which is cooling vents, which is a little surprising. I don't know that I'd include that card. The repair 1 damage I don't think is a huge deal. And then Metroplex flips to deploy Slammer, who will ping each Megatron again and swing Slammer in, which I think makes sense. He's got armor, so they have to deal at least 6, but if he dies, you lose a bold 1 for Metroplex, but that's not a big deal, and he's already got a force field on Metroplex, so it just gives Metroplex an opportunity to flip back into bot mode to attack next turn. Both Megatrons have some decent damage on them, but with the swings that have been coming out, I don't know that they're too worried. Hopefully they can... So he swindles, looking for something to maybe help him scrap the force field on the next turn. He scraps the attack drone, which surprises me. I guess that's the ability that he'd try and go for to get the most out of. But he plays an EM24 laser launcher, which isn't bad, right? +3, nothing wrong with that. And we've got a Crushing Treads on Megatron, so he's fully loaded up. And with Arrogant Ruler attacking, he's not getting through any more than 1 damage onto Slammer. Metroplex has a datapad on him now. And he swings with Metroplex. Datapad lets him draw and put 1 down. And yeah, the bold 1 from Slammer lets him swing with 9 into General Megatron, which is pretty good. I'm surprised Metroplex hasn't gotten more bold abilities. I haven't seen a ton in the deck. Maybe it's designed to work around bold hate. I think the issue that I'm seeing is just that the General Megatron deck's damage output, it's not enough to keep up here. Like, Metroplex is going to get to deploy another 1. He's able to hide behind Slammer. That really should have been a 1-shot. I was surprised he put so many upgrades on General Megatron. I guess it's for his ping ability, but I don't think the ping against a Metroplex deck isn't that useful. At least not until it goes wider. I guess he did get the ping there. I wonder if... I also feel like he, by doing the flips the way the General Megatron player did, he kind of missed a bit of a flip, or missed the important ping there, since the alt mode is just for the weapons he's got. I mean, now Megatron is swinging with base 10, which is better. Without a good way to get rid of those force fields, the Megatron player is definitely struggling. I mean, you know, the big hits that he's trying to get through with Megatron aren't happening. The Metroplex player was able to use a force field to deploy Scamper, which gets, you know, one-shotted on the next turn, but he's got another force field on Metroplex, so this is not going all that well for the Megatron player at this point. So he puts a Gyro Blaster on Arrogant Ruler, putting a Gyro Blaster on Arrogant Ruler, which is another thing that surprised me because he purposefully scrapped another upgrade for it. Metroplex flips to swing in bot mode here. I think that's a great idea. Deploy on the next turn. Swinging into General Megatron here. General Megatron takes 7, which does put him out of the game. This really has the Megatron player on the back foot. I don't know that this is recoverable at this point. He just has not put enough damage out on Metroplex and still has a force field he needs to eat through. Slammer deals another 1. The Megatron player plays a secret action and he's deciding where his attack's going. Without the force field off the table, he might as well swing into Slammer. If he had any sort of weapon, I would have swapped into all mode here to get my defense up, but without it, I guess he needs the 4 to get around Slammer's native 3 defense. Metroplex has 1 guy left to deploy, using a rollout to bring out 6 gun and still be able to flip Metroplex back into bot mode for attack. Yeah, Metroplex goes into Arrogant Ruler here, drawn, placing a card. Megatron player reveals their secret act, which is defensive formation, which I don't know that I'd play in this deck. Maybe this is something he has and he wants to sideboard out later, because this usually, it's good if your opponent is a lot wider than you. You know, if he's able to put a +1 defense on both Megatrons ahead of like a 4 wide or a 5 wide swing or something, that'd be helpful. But otherwise, it's an orange defense, but it doesn't do a ton. And yeah, I mean, at this point, there's really nothing he can do. He still hasn't gotten rid of the force field. And he's playing an orange-heavy Megatron deck, which I don't know that I disagree with that idea. I haven't built enough Megatron to know. I feel like I'd lean blue and more like passive stat attacks. But maybe the better cards are orange there. So then we have the 6 gun off the table, but 18 health still on Metroplex. I think this game 1 is over at this point. Oh, and we've got a flamethrower for bold, just in case. And this might just be a bad matchup. I feel like the Double Megatrons, they want to go against wider decks to get the most out of their pings. I almost feel like General Megatron wants to lean himself to 3 wide. With 2 wide, I feel like there's just not enough room for the upgrades you want to put on there. And that's game 1. So, both players say that they're not going to sideboard anything here. I don't know if that's a result of just not having sideboards ready. Metroplex, I feel like, right, you're not going to switch out characters. You just go into your battle deck. On the Megatron side, I think I'd play him 3 wide starting out. Maybe like with another tank so you get more hunker down abilities to get more upgrades on your guys faster. And then I think I'd lean a little more blue. And then maybe side into Arrogant Ruler as a 2 wide option, or, you know, another 2 wide option. I'm not sure what the best one would be. So, General Megatrons are going second this time. Metroplex swings first, which I think is the right move by the Megatron player. 7 and a 3 armor puts 4 damage on Megatron, but he does not have the tap ability, which is nice. Treasure Hunt pulls some upgrades into his hand. Flipping Megatron into an attack. I actually think I would have flipped Arrogant Ruler here to flip him back on the next turn to get an extra upgrade play with all the upgrades he treasure hunted. With Arrogant Ruler in alt mode, he could have scrapped an upgrade to draw 2 more cards. I think I would have, you know, you got to do your 2 wide swing there, but I would have flipped the other Megatron for a turn to get some more cards in hand and utilize my ability to play them to get my guys loaded up faster. I think that was a misplay on the Megatron player's part. Metroplex flips and deploys Slammer. The guys get pinged for 1. Oh, and there's another force field. Yeah, General Megatron takes damage. I definitely think I would have flipped the other way around, because you know you're going to waste a turn swinging in a Slammer. You might as well have an opportunity to upgrade and get some extra attack power to try and one-shot Slammer, because every turn Slammer stays on the field against a 2 wide is tough. Oh, but here Megatron gets 2 attack drones on him, so that helps a little bit. Get his attack up, get ready for a ping. He scrounges into a point-blank defense field, which is, I don't think that's something I play. That's the one that, I don't remember off the top of my head, but that card negates Pierce, which seems like not worth playing generally. Flipping General Megatron to ping 2 into Metroplex and putting 11 damage to kill Slammer, which I think that's a fine turn. It's a bit of a recovery from the previous one, but he's starting off on a stronger footing. Oh, Metroplex has a data pad now and a supercharge, so here he might get the ping, which would really suck for the Megatron player. So 13 into General Megatron. So General Megatron's off the table very early. That's a tough blow. Didn't get the tamp down, but that's fine with that bold. You know. There's a grenade launcher. I was like, damn, he hasn't pulled a single one. Okay. He chooses not to use Megatron's ability. I think he forgot about the force field here. I would have maybe attacked, scrapping a card to pull something, but I don't know if he has any like vaporizes or ramming speeds or anything in there, which would be a good addition. He's getting some decently high attacks, but force fields are just cutting down his damage. Too much. Or maybe bashing shields. I'm surprised I'm not seeing bashing shields. I'd drop the cooling vents for bashing shields. Escape route lets him deploy and get back in a bot mode. Scamper comes in. Oh, flip Scamper instead of Metroplex. I guess that makes sense, because you can flip on the next turn. Oh, no. No damage onto Metroplex from Scamper, but Metroplex is protected for another turn. I think I keep mixing up Metroplex and Megatron. That's my bad. He plays another grenade launcher. going into Scamper here. Which, I don't know, in an orange heavy deck I would have done that. I feel like you could kill Scamper without the launcher. Maybe not, though. So 10 going into Arrogant Ruler. He gets his thing, so he pings for 1. He's already tapped down, but yeah, that's not a. I mean, this whole matchup's been an uphill battle for the General Megatron player, I think. I see some things in the deck I like, but I definitely think there's some tweaking that could be done that I'm sure are being done after the end of the day at Woodburn Games. And there's a full loadout, emptying out his hand to get some upgrades on Megatron. Don't know that I would have done that. I would have just maybe flipped Megatron and gotten that ability off. I don't know that full loadout's something I'd run. I guess in a deck where you want to play upgrades and you want to be orange, it makes sense if you've got the star. But I'm trying to think. I feel like maybe there's not enough card draw to compensate for full loadout in this deck. I think we're approaching towards the end. Metroplex has 17 damage on him, which is just not nearly enough. Incoming transmission. I'm surprised he's not playing I guess maybe he doesn't have an upgrade that's not going to overwrite datapad and he prefers datapad in this case. And there's the end of the game. Good game to both players. I think they both learned a lot. So this is probably the last, like I said, the last local store event before Gen Con that I will share videos of. So you'll see some games that I played this week, which will happen probably while I'm at Gen Con. Those will be already uploaded. And then next, after that, will be my post-Gen Con video. So hopefully I do pretty well. Wish me luck, and have a great day, everyone.